Saram to you all. Welcome to Sadra News number 806. We'll be talking again on Ram Navami. I am Gulab Billy Moria, and I offer my most loving and humble pranams to the lotus feet of Livat Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. There should be an unwavering faith in truth and righteousness. That is the message of Ram's life. One vote, one wife, one arrow. Ram exemplifies these three signs. You must experience the Rama principle residing in your heart. Rama is not just a son of some emperor in the remote past. He is the eternal spirit of one's heart. Live up to your conscience and you will please God. Everyone has to develop faith in Satya, which is truth, and Dharma, which is righteousness. Put this faith into practice and lead worthy lives. God comes in human form because man has strayed from the path of righteousness. In order to reform people and bring them back to Dharma, God has to take the human form. Birds, beasts, insects lead lives according to their specific natures. They do not need avatars. Today, only man has given up righteousness, forgotten his divine essence, and degraded his humanness, which is why God has come in human form. The avatar has to protect the good from the erring and punish the wicked. Ramayana should not be treated merely as a story of Ram. It has a life-giving message for every human being. People lead artificial lives today. When they have understood the Ramayana, they will know how to lead lives according to truth. The first prerequisite is to know what is right. Then one has to put into practice. Let's hear a Ganesh Bhajan.
Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopasantaye Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe
most loving pranam to the divine lotus feet on the holy occasion of Sri Ram Navami. This marks the birthday of Sri Rama, the embodiment of Dharma itself. I would like to quote a few lines from Ramayana, the opening verses of Ramayana, which recalls, as it were, and puts in a nutshell the noble qualities of Sri Rama. Valmiki asks Narada, what are the qualities, noble qualities, which ought to be cherished? And is there someone who bears those qualities? Are you able to recall? Koasmin sampradam loke, gunavan kasya viryavan. And then goes on narrating few others. And Narada replies, I think these qualities are very difficult to come by. What you are asking for is very, very rare indeed. But I do recall that there is one in the Ikshvaku Vamsha who bears these qualities. For the sake of brevity, I will just read out a few of these qualities mentioned in Ramayana. It says, Niyatatma Mahavirya, Dyutiman Dhrutiman Vashi. Man who knows the limits, embodiment of heroism, and he contains absolute determination. Buddhiman, Nitiman, Vagmi. He is very sagacious. He is very judicious. And Vagmi, he maintains his word. Sriman, Chatru Nibarhana. And goes on to describe even the physical features. I am reading out all this because we see embodiment of all these qualities in Swami. That's where we feel blessed. Ajanubahu Sushiraha Sulalataka Suvikramaha. Ajanubahu is the arm extending right up to the knee. That is the one of the Samudrika Lakshana. Sushiraha Sulalataha, beautiful forehead, and Suvikramaha, beautiful gait. And coming to the personal qualities, says Dharmajnaha Satyasandascha Prajanam Chahiterataha. Just now Professor Venkatraman was recalling how Rama was identifying his dharma with the interests of the people, not so much his person or his immediate family. Yasasvi Jnanasampannaha Shuchihi Vashyaha Samadhiman Rakshita Jivalokasya Dharmasya Parirakshita Rakshita Swasya Dharmasya Swajanasya Cha Rakshita. He takes care of everyone around. Our welfare, our interests are the foremost in his mind. Veda Vedanga Tattvajnaha Dhanurvede Cha Nishtitaha and Sarvadabhigatah Sadbhihi Samudraiva Sindhubihi. All of us take recourse in him as if the rivers take recourse in ocean. And finally, Samudraiva Gambhirya Dhairyena Himavaniva is absolutely calm and glorified in that. And Dhairyena Himavaniva. And when it comes to tasking, Kalagni Sadrisha Krodhe, if there is anger, it's as good as the Kalagni. Kshamaya Prithvi Samaha. But when it comes to again patience, he is just as patient as the earth. How beautiful description, and how blessed we are to personally experience the various aspects of this perfect embodiment of Dharma in our close proximity. Dhanadena Samastyage Satya Dharma Ivapara. All this I ventured to say only because what he is looking for in his people and how he is mounting his initiative in terms of transformation of the people. Rama Rajya. What we need to look at as Swami's glorious mission is the transformation of all of us into Prajas of Rama, the Rama Rajya. And what characterizes Rama Rajya again? He is supposed to have ruled for over 11,000 years. And 14 years, imagine, he was in the forest. But that compares to his total reign is 11,000 years. How did people feel during his reign?
Let us have a small break here. Here's a song by Michael and Maureen Warren of Canada, and it's called I Bow to the Feet.
Satya Sai.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai.
You are my master, guru and friend.
You are my master, guru and friend.
You grant blessings without end.
You grant blessings without end.
You are my master, guru and friend.
You are my master, guru and friend.
You grant blessings without end.
You grant blessings without end.
From your hand comes all I see.
From your hand comes all I see.
You are the wish fulfilling tree.
You are the wish fulfilling tree.
From your hand comes all I see.
From your hand comes all I see.
You are the wish fulfilling tree.
You are the wish fulfilling tree.
I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai.
I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai.
You are my master, guru and friend.
You are my master, guru and friend.
You grant blessings without end.
You grant blessings without end.
From your hand comes all I see.
From your hand comes all I see.
You are the wish fulfilling tree.
You are the wish fulfilling tree.
I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai.
I surrender to Sai, to Satya Sai, to Bhagavan Satya Sai. I bow to the feet, the lotus feet, the lotus feet of the Lord.
Prahrishta mudito lokaha. Mudita is seeing the other person happy, you feel happy. Prahrishta mudito lokaha. Tushtaha, contented. Pushtaha, well fed. Sudharmikaha, everyone remembering objects of rule, observing dharma. Niramayo arogasya durbhiksha bhayavarjita. No scarcity, no feeling of insecurity, no feeling of threat. Now this is what Bhagavan is leading us all to. On this occasion, I would like to say a few words about what the integrated rural development which Bhagavan is envisaging means in terms of transforming the whole thing into an exercise to evolve towards Ramarajya. The emphasis is going to be on the family. It is not on the village. It's not on the individual. It is pitched somewhere in between so that family as the unit is preserved. Values are cherished. Individual does not end with himself. He lives for the family and family lives for the nation. And this is on what we are asked to concentrate. And how do we approach this? That is in terms of various programs like maybe health, education, water, preventive health, nutrition, a whole lot of it. All that meaning to say that you have enough if only you know how to take care of yourself, if you can take care of your immediate neighborhood, if you can have values, if you can respect for the elders of the family, then there is enough to sustain. Have faith in God, surrender yourself at His will. And if that could be done, the rest of them follow. We get into a mode of Ramarajya where everybody is happy and Swami's happiness lies in the happiness of the world. He is oft repeating, Lokas samasta sukhino bhavantu. It's not an individual welfare. It's the welfare of all for all times to come. That's how it is. And it's a great privilege for all of us to be in His divine presence and be blessed to listen and benefit by the divine discourse. The rural development effort which I was mentioning, it's a continuation of what we had been doing as Gram Seva in the first instance, where the students set the pace for serving the villages, because Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. And there also the emphasis was on not so much the village, but serving the villagers right at their doorsteps. Now they are coming. This effort has become far more widespread, and you see the Sevadal people coming from different states, having their own models of Gram Seva at each point. And Swami very deftly organized the whole effort through the Atirudra Mahayajnam in terms of mobilization of the youth power towards the objects of his mission. And it started on a very, very holy note in terms of getting the youth together to organize such a massive effort as Atirudram. All of us were witnesses to what happened here. Apart from the holiness of the exercise itself, the effort it entailed in terms of getting the people together, mobilizing the youth towards the welfare of everyone was very significant, and it transformed qualitatively into another major exercise in Chennai, where something like 2,500 youth came together initially, and another 2,500 to 3,000 joined during the course of the effort to organize a very massive Atirudram Mahayajna. The Ritviks were about 150, and they were all, again, most of them, 90% of them were at a young age. All of them applied themselves very systematically to the performance of this holy exercise for the welfare of mankind. And when this exercise was sought to be repeated in different places, the implied command was, what was important was the mobilization of the youth energy, and that it should be directed towards the upliftment of the society. And that is where the new integrated rural development exercise took shape. The initiative was at the level, has to be addressed to the family, and youth will have to be mobilized for this purpose. And this entry point of the contact with the family goes further to provide them drinking water, to provide them personal hygiene, to improve their surroundings, to give them education, to give them medical facilities, preventive health facilities, and evolve them also spiritually as a group, as a caring community. And this is what is sought to be done through this integrated rural development effort. You will be finding in due course, under Bhagwan's inspiration, the whole mobilization of the youth energy towards this. And this effort will prove a major transformatory exercise. All of us, I think, are blessed in the sense, in Rama's time, the Vanaras and all the others had the privilege, had the blessing of participating even in a very, very minor way in the total effort. Like that, we have the opportunity of being associated even in a very small way in this whole exercise. And we should personally feel blessed that Bhagwan chose us as also one of the instruments. Several instruments are available. That we are also being given that sort of a blessing by itself is a great boon to us. All of us join in expressing our gratitude to Bhagwan on this holy day for having given us this blessing and the opportunity. I seek Swami's permission to withdraw. Saira.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that talk from Radio Sai in Prasanthi. You know, after the coronation of Lord Rama, following victory in the battle with Ravana, Rama distributed gifts to all those who assisted him in the battle with Ravan. Turning towards Hanuman, Lord Rama said, "There is nothing I can give you that would match the service you have rendered to me. All I can do is to give you my own self." Upon hearing these words, Hanuman stood by Ram in all humility, with hands joined together in front of his mouth and head slightly bent in the pose of service to Ram. To this day, this picture of Hanuman as a humble devotee to the Lord Ram is the most popular among the admirers and worshippers of Hanuman. The worship of Hanuman therefore symbolizes the worship of the Supreme Lord for acquiring knowledge, physical and mental strength, truthfulness, sincerity, selflessness, humility, royalty and profound devotion to the Lord. Well, I hope you enjoyed that talk on Ram Navami. We'll see you next week. Saram to you all.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम।
साई रामा हे घनश्यामा, साई रामा हे घनश्यामा, साई रामा हे घनश्यामा, साई रामा हे घनश्यामा, परम दया घन आत्मा रामा, आत्मा रामा, परम दया घन आत्मा रामा, साई रामा हे घनश्यामा, साई रामा हे घनश्यामा, शांत सगुण हरि हर परमा